The weight of the past had long rested on his shoulders, but he had learned to live without feeling it. Days passed in quiet rhythm, far from the world that once swallowed him whole. He had walked away, buried the old life deep where no one could reach it. The past was dead, until the phone rang. A sharp breath. A hesitation. Fingers hovered before answering. On the other end, a voice is shaken, broken, gasping for air between words. She's gone. Silence followed, heavy, suffocating. No demands. No warnings. Just emptiness. The words did not need repeating. He already understood. His niece was missing. But this was not a simple disappearance. It had no ransom, no trace, only the weight of something far darker. Rumors spread fast in the right places. Whispers slid through the alleys, each word carrying the same name. Taken. Stolen in the night. A deal made in shadows. No one saw. No one knew. But they all understood, this was not random. Someone wanted her. A message waited for him in the only way they knew how to send it. A small object, carved and worn, left behind like an open wound. A snake curled around a dagger. The brand of men who once owned him, the mark of a world he had burned to the ground. The past was never truly dead. It had been watching, waiting. And now it had come to take something from him. This was no accident. This was no mistake. This was personal. The underworld had returned to drag him back into the fire. But this time, he would not be the one to burn. The past never truly disappears, it lingers in the quiet, waiting. Some call it fate. Others call it punishment. He had buried it deep, built walls so high no one could reach him. But ghosts know how to slip through cracks. The first call was a test, a whisper into the past. A familiar voice answered, heavy with old debts. Some men still owed him. Others wanted him dead. A meeting in a forgotten place, where the air was thick with secrets. A figure leaned forward, words cautious, eyes shifting. They call it the last shipment. Silence followed, heavy with meaning. The name alone carried weight, spoken only in places where shadows ruled. A cargo unlike any other, stolen lives, traded in whispers, vanishing before the world could notice. 48 hours. That was all. A list passed through rough fingers, ink smudged, names barely legible. But one name stood out. The one that mattered. The seconds ticked away, but time had never been the enemy. Time could be beaten, outplayed, bent to a man's will. The real enemy sat behind desks, counting profits, untouchable in their wealth. This was bigger than before. The operation had spread, its roots deep, feeding on power, protected by men who walked free under the sun. Money flowed like a river, washing away guilt, drowning justice. This wasn't a gang or a syndicate. This was a machine, built by hands that never touched the dirt. The weight of the truth settled as he walked through the doors of the police station. A statement, direct. A name, a location. A chance to end this the right way. But the only answer was silence. A flicker of recognition in tired eyes, followed by the same quiet refusal. Justice was not blind. It simply refused to see. Two choices lay ahead: turn away, pretend none of this ever happened. Or burn the whole empire to the ground. The fire had already started. There was no turning back. A whisper moves through the underworld, weaving through dark alleys, past locked doors, slipping into the right ears. A name. A question. A warning. The trail ends at a forgotten corner, where men with pasts sit waiting for the next deal, the next mistake. In the dim light, a figure leans back, amused, untouched by the filth around him. The smirk is slow, deliberate. You left this life. Why? Come back now? The words are thick with mockery, a dare more than a question. The answer does not come in words. It comes in motion. A table shifts. A chair scrapes against the floor. The smirk does not last. The refusal is met with violence. A flash of steel. A fist, hard as stone. A grunt, a breath ripped from the lungs. Tables shatter, bodies crash, past and present colliding in a storm of broken bones. The first hit is a warning. The second is a lesson. The third draws blood. A cough, wet and strained. A hand trembles against a bruised jaw. The laughter is weaker now, but still there. A whisper, reluctant, forced through clenched teeth. A name. A place. The shipment is hidden in a warehouse, waiting to be moved. The victory is his. But pain lingers in bruises, in old wounds reopened. No time to recover. No time to breathe. The city's shadows hold men who have lost everything. He moves through them, calling on ghosts. A soldier with eyes that have seen too much. A mother whose grief has turned to fire. A thief who knows the docks like his own skin. They listen. They nod. They wait. A worn-out map unfolds, creased from years of use. A red marker drags across its surface, circling one place, one moment. We go in fast. We go in hard. No one walks away. No questions. No second guesses. The silence is thick, heavy with the weight of what is to come. Before the storm, a breath. A pause. A warning. You don't have to do this. A slow shake of the head. A voice, steady, unshaken. I never had a choice. Weapons held tight, breath controlled, steps silent against cold concrete. Shadows stretch long, swallowing movement, concealing intent. A whispered signal cuts through the stillness. No hesitation. No turning back. The air inside is heavy, thick with something unspoken. A row of cages lines the walls, rusted metal trapping stolen lives. Small hands clutch the bars, wide eyes staring through the dark, bodies curled in fear. A voice, barely. A whisper, pleading. Please, help us. A quick count. Dozens trapped, their terror suffocating. But one face is missing. A question, sharp and urgent. A girl, trembling, steps forward, her voice breaking. They took one more, to the ship. A hush settles, dread curling through the silence. A name escapes her lips, heavy with fear. The Black Serpent. A slow, mocking clap breaks the stillness. A laugh, cold and knowing. The walls seem to close in. Doors slam. Boots thunder against the floor. A voice, cruel and amused. You really thought we wouldn't see you coming? Steel meets flesh, fists tighten, triggers pull. The order is given, sharp and final. Kill them all. Muzzle flashes slice through the dark. The roar of gunfire drowns out the screams. Bodies drop, blood spatters against rusted steel. The fight is chaos, brutal, unrelenting. Fists strike, steel glints, pain is ignored. A knife carves through flesh. Rage burns through the air. A man stumbles, breath shallow, fingers pressing against a wound too deep to heal. A grin, twisted, broken. You're too late. A cough, wet and thick with blood. A whisper, a final curse. She sails at dawn. A body slumps. Lifeless. The truth sinks in, cold as the steel beneath him. The roar of an engine shatters the silence. Tires screech, smoke rises, time is slipping away. The city blurs past, lights streaking in long lines. Every second counts. The water glimmers in the distance. The ship looms ahead, engines humming, ready to leave. The final battle waits. Engines roar, the ship lurches forward, cutting through the waves. A sprint, a heartbeat racing against time, a body launching into the air. Fingers find steel, grip tight. The ocean churns below, but nothing matters except what lies ahead. A slow clap echoes through the deck. A voice, smooth, familiar, laced with amusement. You should have stayed away. A shadow steps forward, eyes cold, smile sharp. Once a teacher, now an enemy. This isn't your fight anymore. No response. There is nothing left to say. Steel is drawn. Fists tighten. The battle begins. A knife flashes, sharp as memory. A swift counter, a strike to the ribs. Pain is ignored, drowned beneath the clash of blades. Blood drips onto the deck, mixing with salt and sweat. The waves crash harder, as if mirroring the fight. A flicker of light in the distance catches his eye. A warning. A promise. The fuel tanks, rigged to burn. A smirk from the other side, knowing, taunting. Either we die here, or you let her go. A choice, spoken like a deal. But deals were abandoned long ago. A feint, a twist, a final strike. The blade sinks deep, a gasp follows. A whisper, weak but certain. You were always too soft. The body collapses. The ship groans, fire spreading fast. A door crashes open. Eyes wide, filled with fear. No time. No second chances. A grip tightens around a trembling hand, the heat presses close, flames licking at their backs. A final push. A leap into the unknown. The ocean swallows them whole. Behind them, the black serpent erupts, flames devouring its secrets. Darkness closes in, but the fight is not over. Not yet. Smoke rises, thick and unforgiving. Where power once stood, now there is only ruin. The streets whisper their names, but not with admiration. Fear lingers in the air, coiling like a snake, reminding those who remain that kings can fall. The underworld has lost its masters. But power is never truly buried. New hands will reach for the throne. The headlines scream of justice, of victory. Cameras flash, voices cheer, names echo in the wind. But some names are missing. The ones with wealth, with influence, the ones who built this empire from behind golden doors. Their hands remain clean, untouched, as if the blood they spilled never existed. The world moves on, pretending justice is whole. But justice has cracks, and those cracks run deep. His niece stands in the light, free, but freedom does not erase the past. The cages may be gone, but their shadows still linger. The fear, the helplessness, the whispers in the dark, they will never truly fade. Safety is a lie when memories still haunt the mind. She smiles, but it does not reach her eyes. She will never be the same. The war is over. The battle is won. But he does not celebrate. He does not stay. He watches from the distance, knowing the light is no place for a man like him. Some men fight their way back to peace. Others find that peace no longer fits. The streets are quieter now, but silence is a trick, a momentary pause before the next storm. Corruption does not die, it waits, hidden in the corners of power, shifting, changing, growing. The powerful still pull the strings, waiting for the right moment to rebuild. The fight may be over, but the war is far from done. It's over, someone says. A slow shake of the head, a final glance at the city that refuses to change. No. Not yet. The night swallows him whole. Because some battles never end, the ghosts of old sins still whisper his name. No matter how far he runs, how deep he buries the past, it always finds a way back. He thought the fight was over. He believed he could leave it behind. But some wars don't end. They wait. They linger in the silence, in the dark corners of forgotten streets, in the faces of those who still suffer. Evil does not disappear. It does not die. It changes form, shifts its mask, finds new shadows to hide in. The world is full of men who steal, who destroy, who take without fear. They count on silence. They thrive in the spaces where no one is watching. Someone has to stop them. He never asked for this war. He never wanted it. But the war wanted him. He tried peace. He tried silence. He tried to believe that leaving the fight meant the fight would leave him. But peace is a lie when the innocent still suffer. Silence is a choice only the guilty can afford. The path ahead is clear. Walk away and pretend the world is not broken. Or stand and fight. He has seen too much, lost too much. The scars on his body, the weight in his chest, the memories that haunt his sleep, none of it matters if he walks away now. Walking away means letting another girl disappear. Another life stolen. Another whisper of help left unheard. A deep breath. A final glance at the world behind him. Someone has to fight. The night stretches before him, endless, waiting. He steps forward, vanishing into its depths. This was never about one mission, one girl, one syndicate. This war is bigger. The darkness is deeper. The fight is endless, and he is ready.